Happy New Year! I can't believe it's been a minute since we've talked. We are going to get into everything. First of all, welcome back. Thank you for clicking on the second channel. We are going to be starting off the new year. We're going to have our own little countdown, right? We're going to do this because I've really missed talking to you all. Vlogmas is over, and I'm going to be getting back into the routine of just doing like sit-down talk videos, and maybe I'll do vlogs here and there. I have no idea what this year, especially January, it's a stressful month, is going to entail, but I thought we could do our own little, you know, pretend it's New Year's again because we didn't share the moment together, but let's pretend. So, what I am going to be doing is a shot of tequila. Cheers! Am I using this as an excuse to do a shot of tequila? Possibly. No, I actually don't think I have any plans tonight. I think I'm literally just going to be filming YouTube videos. I have a couple main channel videos that I really want to film that I think I'm going to get done tonight. I've already filmed a couple videos today. I've surprisingly had a productive day. I also don't know what time it is. It is 7 p.m. and it feels like 3 a.m. I feel like I always feel like, oh, I have no, you know, time structure or whatever like that. I feel like and I normally like lose track of time, but I feel that I'm like really cautious of time, and I feel that time is going so fucking slow. I can't explain it. I feel like I'm like waking up now like really early and going to bed really early, and then I'm like so cautious of each individual hour now. Not like trying to be or whatever, but like if I genuinely thought it was gonna be like midnight or something, and it's only 7 p.m, which is terrifying. But we're gonna do a shot of tequila, and we're gonna pretend it's midnight again on January 1st, even though it's the 3rd. And we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk. I have my little portable tripod sitting over here, and yes, my Christmas, there you go, you see it. And yes, my Christmas tree is still up. It is still up. I need a burp, but it's staying up because it takes so long to put those motherfuckers up, and the thought of taking it down is incredibly stressful. And I actually really enjoy the light source of it. And I know people are gonna be like, you know, you can keep them up all year round and all like that, and I appreciate the people being so supportive of that. I don't wanna be that person, so I'm not gonna be keeping it up all year, but I think I'm gonna take it down like in a couple days. I don't know, I have like my landlord coming out and doing stuff in my property in a couple days, so I kind of want to keep it up then, because if I start taking it down, I'm gonna start cleaning everything. So anyway, I was saying that I don't know if I have plans tonight, but I know that one of my friends is doing, I'm cutting the line by the way, is doing a little get together, and I'm really not in the mood to like drink. Like I'm not in the mood to have like a drink of vodka or even a cocktail. Like I'm really not in the mood for anything like that. So if I'm going to theirs in like an hour time and I have a shot of tequila in me, even better. And I just will be like, oh, I'm just gonna sit with a Red Bull. So yeah, we're gonna do this shot together. I have my lime now. I have this little Paris shot glass, which is like really cute. I got it in Paris, but I don't do shots that often. So it really never got used. It only started getting used on New Year's because I've discovered that I'm trying to get into tequila, because I used to do shots of like Sambuca, and I know a lot of people don't know what that is, but it kind of just tastes like medicine. I've never ever been someone to do a shot of vodka. I will never do that. I'm like, I've never tried it and I never want to try it. But I feel like tequila is just like, I love a ritual, and I love that this is like a ritualistic thing, you know what I mean? So we're gonna do this and then we're gonna sit down and talk. I just ate, so hopefully this goes down a little bit better. It just depends. I feel that I really am able to get a tequila down me whenever I'm in the club and I'm a couple drinks down, but whenever I'm doing a tequila on its own for the first drink of the day, it's awful. So anyway, I don't even know what this one is. 38%, yuck. And these are really big shot glasses, by the way, and I cannot down drinks, I cannot really drink drinks, so I'm only gonna be filling this to like, I really need to get like smaller shot glasses. Like this is probably even gonna be a bit too much, because if this was filling up a small shot glass, see, I feel like that might even be too big. You know the little shitty small ones? Like why is this so like this to me is like a whiskey glass. Like this seems like a lot. I'm gonna pour a little bit out of this. See, this is like how little I like doing shots. Okay, I feel like this is fine. You know what I mean? Like if this was another shot glass, this would fill it up the entire way. Anyway, I want to get this over with because I just want to talk. So I love my salt. All right. So salt, tequila, lime. So let's pretend it's New Year's, right? If you follow me on any social media, whether that's Twitter or Instagram, I think that's the only other two. My username is @theadam_mcintyre. Please either screenshot this following moment, record it, screen record it, whatever. If you're recording on your phone and I see your screen, even better, tag me in it so then I feel like we've had New Year's together, whether that's on like your Instagram story or whether that's just like tweeting me or something like that. I would really appreciate it. And let's like pretend, let's have like a, you know, a moment. If any of you out there, go for it. If any of you go for it, or if not, get yourself a nice drink of Coke, of Fanta, of water, of carbonated water, or whatever you want to do. Go for it, babe. Happy New Year's. All right. Oh my God, look at me, I'm in my club already. I'm doing this. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, muckers. Cheers. Happy New Year's. Ugh. Yuck. Ugh. That was the perfect amount though. That was the perfect amount. Because if any of you shady bitches take a picture of this red face now, I'm not reposting it. I want like the pretty like... Anyways, now we can sit down and talk, finally. That was like a perfect amount. I'll know in future because I normally pour too much and then don't finish it. It was like that. Okay, anyway, let's sit down and talk now. So, I cannot fucking believe that we are in the new year. And I just feel that... Okay, let me set you up. Ooh, Jesus, that light. I feel that there's so much that happened in 2022 for all of us, and also like individually speaking, that I don't know, it seems like this lighting is awful. It's like so harsh. So what I'm gonna do is sit back a bit because it's really unflattering. Oh, Jesus. There we go. So, there we go, it's a little bit better. Also, my sofa is so fucked. I have had so many like parties or whatever like that where people have came over and they have spilt fucking drink on my sofa. So there are so many stains on this sofa that is like Coke, that was like, it's normally fucking Coke or wine. And the sofa has never recouped. So I may talk about the apartment situation if anyone's following that in a bit. But I think if I renew this apartment, one of the main things I'm gonna do is replace all the furniture, because I've been here long enough that I want to enjoy my furniture. I hate these sofas. I hate that like small sofa. I've hated it since I moved in. So I like want to actually have like my own furniture in here. That was kind of the downside of getting a furnished apartment. Like everything was kind of done for me and I couldn't really do anything. Blessing and a curse, I guess. Anyways, Happy New Year. And I genuinely mean that. This is the first year. That light's bothering me. Sorry, I don't think this video could get more fucking chaotic. I genuinely mean Happy New Year. And this is the first New Year that I actually didn't feel anything. And I don't mean that in a weird way. I don't mean that in a sad way or whatever. And I asked people's opinions on like New Year this year and possible New Year's resolutions, and I was very interested in those conversations. But this was the first New Year's where I wasn't stressed on New Year's Eve. I wasn't, you know, stressed for the countdown of New Year's Day, which I normally am. And January 1st, I actually wasn't hungover as well. So that kind of eliminated a lot of my stress, which was amazing. My New Year's Eve was actually so tame. I would love to know what you did for New Year's, whether that was kind of staying in or going out or whatever. My New Year's Eve was so, it was great, but it was so boring. I went to the club and I just kind of was so overwhelmed with the amount of people that were at the club that I kind of didn't like drink a lot. And it's also really hard to get drunk on New Year's Eve if you're not getting really drunk at like your house or whatever, because there's so many lines at the club. But there were so many people that I was having the best time with my friend group, but then I just kind of like was over it. So I went to one of my friend's house who was having a birthday. I left the club pretty early. I think probably like midnight I left the club, which is really early for me leaving the club. And then I went to my friend Rachel's house, who she was having a party. I stayed there for like an hour. I mean, her friend group didn't, talking to them was like, sorry, it's gonna be shady, but talking to them was like talking to fucking stones. Like, they all work together, so they really didn't care that I was there. So that was lovely, and I've already confronted her about that, actually. I confronted her about it because it was so rude. Her friend group, none of them cared that I was there, and they don't have to care that I'm there, but you can respond whenever I say Happy New Year, or you can, you know, answer me whenever I ask questions, or you can, you know, not speak over me whenever I'm the only person speaking, or whatever like that. And I actually was speaking to one of my other friends with my other friend whose party it was, and other people were agreeing with me, and I was like, okay. But anyway, I mean, if you're all working together, you're obviously going to be really close and stuff like that. But anyway, if I had a party and, you know, anyways, so I left there pretty early as well because I just didn't feel welcome. My friend made me feel welcome, but anyway. So I then was home by 1:50, and I was in bed by 2 a.m. So that was like perfect because I woke up on January 1st at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. or whatever like that. I was not hungover. I had the best January 1st. I like deep cleaned my apartment. The dogs are currently in Ireland where the cats are here, and I was able to really get like a lot of shit done, and I have been over the past few days, which has been really great, and I've missed the dogs being here like 100%. But them being gone has made doing a lot of things in the apartment really easy. Like when it comes to deep cleaning, because I'm not kind of distracted the same way with the cats. Like the cats couldn't give a shit. So when they come back in a couple days, which I'm very excited for, it basically means that everything's done, and I've kind of had like this reset period of getting the apartment to where I've always wanted it to be in terms of like things moved around, things really cleaned or whatever before they get here, because then I don't have to split my attention, if you get me. So that's great, and I'm so excited. I'm like really bored without my dogs. Like today, one of my other friends was going to the dog park, and I said no because I was gonna be sad going to a dog park without Dolly. So I'm excited for them to get back, and I'm excited to take Dolly on walks again. By the way, I'm not saying take Bonnie on walks, because Bonnie refuses to want to leave the apartment, and it's a task to get her to leave. Hi, Milo. So that was what happened on New Year's Day, and that's kind of, I've really just been like sleeping a lot. I watched Moana for the first time on Disney Plus, and I really loved it. I loved it. I started watching it on the plane on one of my recent trips, and then I finished watching it like 2 nights ago or something like that, and it just was it was such a good movie. I really enjoyed it, and that is what's been happening. So, oh, Milo, please be a gentleman. Be a gentleman. Stop flashing your bussy, please. Milo, have some self-respect for yourself. Thank you. So, okay, I want to, sorry, my friends are, sorry, my friend just texted me something really silly, made me giggle. I put on the Muckers grip, because I wanted to hear about how everyone's been doing. I said the following, let me find it. I said, anyone doing any New Year's resolutions, let me know if and what they are. Everyone knows I hate New Year's resolutions, but there are pros and cons to them, so for my second channel, I want to sit down and discuss them if anyone has any. Now, I'll talk about this really briefly because I've talked about this. I hate the pressure that people, including myself at times, put on themselves for having New Year's resolutions. I think that there's pros and cons to it, the pros being, it can be a good motivation. Like, it can be a really good motivation of being like, January 1st, I'm gonna do this. But also, there's a con to that where it's like, a lot of that is really, you know, the stroke of midnight is not magical, and nothing really changes that much unless you really make the change, and making change is really hard, so it makes a lot of people go into starting the year off feeling almost disappointed in themselves, or like a spiral. So I just think there's pros and cons to it, and I think that, like, why not, you know, gradually make a change that you would want to drastically happen on January 1st, you know, throughout the month of December or throughout the month of January. I feel like, why is that not more normalized rather than like January 1st, I'm gonna be fitness goddess, or January 1st, I'm gonna go hard, or like cold turkey vegan. Like, all of these things are so unrealistic. And sure, there's probably people who've, you know, done these things, gone cold turkey smoking, gone cold turkey vegan, like all these different things. But for a majority of the New Year's resolutions, it's like a periodic thing that needs to change. And I just think that, like, I've talked to more people who've gotten angry with themselves at the start of the year for not fulfilling a New Year's resolution, rather than people that have been like really wowed and excited by a New Year's resolution. So I don't love New Year's resolutions. The reason, by the way, that I'm not giving MILO a lot of attention right now is because if I really start giving them attention, I won't even be able to hold my phone. So I'm gonna wait until the video's over, and then I'm gonna take him into my bedroom, and we are gonna watch, I think is Enchanted the Disney one I've always wanted to watch? Yeah, it has like Dove Cameron stuff, right? If I'm thinking about the right one. It's like a movie franchise. But I also want to watch Monsters Inc. So he'll get his attention then. But if I do this, I will not be able to hold my phone, and it will be, the bussy will be on display like that. So we're not gonna be doing that. So I'm just gonna read through these. I actually haven't read through any of these yet. Pig Farts, love the name. It feels like no matter what goal I set for myself this year, it never goes my way, so 2023 is gonna take me wherever I go at this point. And I think that that's like a great mentality to have. Kelsey said to become mentally stable enough to work or go back to school. That's a good one as well. And that's kind of not like a January 1st, I'm gonna do this. It's kind of like a, I want to work towards this to be able to do this. And I think that that is kind of the best one. Frankie May said, mine is taking no shit anymore. I'll block, delete, mute anyone in my life that doesn't align with me. I just want to be happy. And I think something like that is really good as well, where it's like, something like that you can do, where it's like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, this year moving forward, I'm gonna be doing things a bit more different. You don't appreciate me, you're gone. You don't respect me, you're gone. These different things. Shelby said, I very recently broke up with my long-term boyfriend. My New Year's resolution this year is to relearn who I am and spend each day doing things just for myself. I'm learning it's okay to be selfish sometimes and do things that only serve you. I feel like the term being selfish, like in the context you're using it here, is doing things by yourself or treating yourself to things. That shouldn't be seen as being selfish. That should be seen as doing things for yourself. I think that that is a perfect one, which is, you know, learning to relearn who you are, things you enjoy, being your own person again. But please don't use the, I'm not criticizing you, but I'm just saying don't use the terminology like selfish, you know, like learning to be like selfish sometimes or whatever, like that. That's not being selfish. I don't know if maybe that has been learned throughout a relationship, like spending too much time on your own. That's like you being selfish with your time or whatever. No. That is literally you taking care of you. So don't think of it, Shelby, in like a selfish way. It's just my take on it. Mildred said to be present and being genuinely happy, being able to get on the dean's list again for the spring semester, taking more pictures and just having fun. I love the taking more pictures one because I think that's something so easily implemented in your life, and I think you never regret not taking pictures, but you always regret, you always regret not taking pictures, but you never regret taking pictures. I've like always lived by that model, and I'll take pictures of random shit, especially whenever I'm traveling or whatever, because I enjoy looking back on it rather than if I didn't have any photos. And I kind of feel that way about concerts as well. And I know people, I feel like that's such a controversial topic, which is taking pictures or videos at concerts. My thing is, and people go, you'll never watch them back and you're just wasting your time and living through your phone. Whenever I'm recording at a concert, unless I'm doing some mad fucking zooming in or the artist is running from one side to the next and I'm following them on my phone, I'm going like this and I'm singing along, I'm in the moment, and I am the person who rewatches my concert videos so much over and over and over again, and the logic of, you know, you never watch those videos back anyway, you're just wasting your own time, is so stupid to me, because that is completely not my logic. And I actually watch back my concert videos so much. So anyway, I always appreciate whenever I take more pictures and videos and stuff. So we have Kari Gray said, I always break New Year's resolutions, so I just have a goal this year to give up soda and get my health back on track, as last year I neglected my thyroid condition. I like the way you phrase that as well, which is like, I'm not doing this as a New Year's resolution, but I'm going to work towards this year, cutting this off, doing this. I look so cute right now. And I like the way that that is phrased. Shannon said, I want to break my addiction to scrolling, sorry. I've spent way too many hours of my life looking at TikToks and shorts and all like that. I've wanted to learn piano in a new language, and I feel like I've been trapped in scrolling and I've never been able to truly learn those. I also want to read more and work on the growth in my brain because social media does have a negative impact on it. Yeah, I think that as well. And I mean, social media is like increasingly being more and more of our lives. Technology is being more and more of our lives, and it's almost hard to exist in a climate where you're not using your phone every single day or every single, you know, hour or a couple hours, whatever like that. But I think, you know, I love, and one of mine is to read more. So I wouldn't be too hard on yourself for, you know, if you're on your phone a lot in a day, because a lot of essential things are done on your phone as well. But in terms of like implementing time from what you're doing on TikTok, because you lose hours on TikTok, I lose hours on TikTok, into, you know, learning a new language and the piano, I think that's beautiful. And I'm actually taking one of yours, which is one of my things, is I want to learn how to read. And I also would love to, I wanted to do this back in October, which is buying like a little keyboard, like a little shitty keyboard on Amazon, and just practicing, you know, like writing the notes on each key and, you know, doing like really, you know, learning the basics. I would love to do that because I always love when people know languages, multiple languages. I think it's one of the like most intelligent things in the entire world. And also musical people. I just swoon for musical people, and I would love to. I know I probably will never be the most musical person, but I would love to know an instrument or two. So that's kind of something that I want to implement in mine. So Brooke said something I like. Mine are basic. A couple are to see my grandparents more, buy a car, and move out. And the one I really, really, really love is, because buy a car is like, you know, oh my god, my windows are literally shaking from the wind. Like, they're going like this. I feel like, you know, buying a car, moving out and stuff like that is like, you know, like that's a process of like saving up. So maybe it would be saving more money each month. But I mean, don't put an expectation on yourself to like, you know, January buy a car, February buy a car, because first of all, things are really expensive. But what I really loved about your one was spending more time, you know, going and seeing your grandparents more, because this is definitely something that I want to do next year, and I want to do for as long as I have my grandparents, where it's, you know, anytime I'm back home. They obviously don't live anywhere close to me right now. They're like a plane ride away and a long bus ride away. But anytime, you know, I have free time, anytime I'm able to get the dogs looked after, you know, going and visiting my nana and granda. My dad's side, I never really see them, just because there's health complications with them. I don't know when the last time I saw them was, but I would, like, I'm actively trying to see them. And, you know, I always want to spend time with my nana and granda. And also, I think a really important thing is, if your grandparents have social media, if you know, they're still here, messaging them daily. Like, I message my nana and granda, both of them, probably every single day, every second day. And if they don't use social media, a handwritten letter is what I'm supposed to say there. Wow, that little tequila shot. And, you know, maybe, you know, saving up and buying them like flowers or something like that. Something to, you know, show your appreciation. I feel like that also applies for parents, guardians, people who were there for you when you were growing up, people who are in your life now, your chosen family with your friend group, or buying yourself stuff. Like, I just think it's really important, and being there for those people and yourself. And Lauren said, I always make a list on my phone of things I would like to achieve in the new year, but I just don't think that they're always realistic. Oh, it's always things, sorry, that are realistic and achievable, so I don't feel bad if I don't do them. It's things like get a nose piercing, tattoo, go to the gym more often, make new friends. I don't see them things as resolutions, more things that I would like to do. And that's kind of where I'm at with New Year's resolutions. It's things I would like to do in the year, rather than like, I'm gonna do this by this day. Because I think life comes at you so quick that it's so hard to even think about where you're gonna be next month. You can think about it, but you might not be there. You know, something could happen tomorrow that completely rocks your world in a good way or a bad way. And I think living each day is equally as important as, you know, looking to the future. And I've always kind of lived by that. I've been seeing a lot of people like Melanie being like, I want to, you know, start going to therapy. I think that's also a really good one. That's something that I would like to implement. I mean, healthcare with the NHS and going private and all these different things in the UK right now is such a mess that I don't think that that's achievable even this year. But who knows? A lot of people are saying that they would like to, you know, start the process of looking for a new job. I think that's also really good. Erin is saying for the past month I've been learning to, so I like that terminology, you know what I mean? Like I've been doing this for the past couple months rather than, because I don't want people putting pressure on themselves like January 1st this. Erin said, for the past month I've learned to set the boundaries that I need, so I'm continuing to do that into the new year. People like Denise are saying take more photos. I really appreciate when people say that. Mary said, I want to read at least one book a month. I'm not a big reader, so this is going to be a big deal for me, and hopefully start a family. My husband and I did time capsules that we will read next year and see how the year has turned out versus what we thought was going to do. So like writing a letter, like where you think you're going to be the next year and then the next year reading it. I could not even do that for myself because I feel like it would stress me out imagining where I'm going to be next year, but I love the concept of it. And I think reading one book a month, that is like way too intense for me, particularly, but I know a lot of people have different reading abilities. I just think like reading more is something I would love. I would love to expand my very limited vocabulary. And I have like a bunch of books that I've been wanting to read, and I just keep putting it off because I'm like, do you want to know why I don't read some books? I don't read some books because I'm like, what if I enjoy it too much and then finish it? What logic is that? Like, that is actually some logic I've had for, I've not finished Jeanette McCurdy's book. I've loved it, but I don't want to finish it because what if I enjoy it too much and it's done? You know, I always have the possibility of picking up that book now. Mariah Carey's The Meaning of Mariah Carey, her autobiography. That book has been out for 2 years, 3 years. I have not finished it because I've enjoyed it so much that I don't want it to be over, so then I, you know, will never know. It's so fucking bizarre. I cannot explain it. All right, okay. I'll read a couple more here. I'll scroll to the bottom. People are saying they're making vision boards. I love the idea of a vision board and I would love to make one. I know it's, you know, the thing is, it's January 3rd right now. We can still be making New Year's resolutions. It's the new year. A lot of people are saying that they are wanting, like Kate, graduate uni and then start a master's. People are saying that, again, that they want to start looking into therapy. Glow, who I love, nope, I try to do my best always and, you know, kind of be, you know, consistently, like, doing my best and reaching for the best, and I really, like, appreciate that stance as well, where it's like, nope, like, I'm just gonna do the best I can every single day, and I think that that is kind of how I live. A lot of people are saying that they are wanting to clean up their social media, like, remove, like, old friends and stuff like that, which I think is a really interesting one. People like Autumn are saying learn a new skill. I don't know which yet, but I definitely want to learn something. We will read out one more from Chris. I am not big on resolutions either, but I think reframing the idea to a habit makes people feel better if they work on habits as resolutions. You know, when you fail them, they kind of suck. Habits often take weeks to stick too. So if you find your habit is working for you, you can say your habit was a resolution. I think too much mental gymnastics with resolutions in your life requires you to do better. Experiment with things that make you feel happy, healthy, allow for growth. But I say don't beat yourself up for being human. Obviously, this does not mean to do horrible things and blow behavior off. But in general, people are dealing with a lot right now, and don't put the pressure on yourself. And a lot of people are saying journaling. So if I had to say what my New Year's resolutions would be, it would be spending more time doing things that enrich the animals' lives. Like, that is my main one. My main one is doing things that are, like, more enriching to them. So for Dolly, that's going to be going new places. For Bonnie, because each animal is different, for Bonnie, that's going to be different toys. And so my 2 dogs have very different, you know, things that are, like, mentally stimulating for them. Bonnie does not like leaving the apartment. Dolly loves being out of the apartment, doesn't like being in the apartment. So 2 very different things that are mentally stimulating for them. The cats are a whole different conversation. Like, each of those cats have their own little niche as well. So it's like working towards that. That's my main thing. And then my second one would be taking my time with most things in my life. Number 3, limiting my expectations, because I feel like I'm someone who rushes my mind and expects a lot more quicker, and like with personal friendships, relationships, stuff like that, and that always screws me over in the long run. So that's like my main ones. Then my other ones are, like, I obviously, like, want to continue traveling, but one thing I would say is I've I had great trips recently in December, but like there was just so much of the travel went wrong, like almost being stranded in America, the plane nearly fucking crashing from, what was it, Paris or Ireland or whatever like that, nearly being escorted, kicked out of Paris airport for being too fucking like sick. Like I just kind of, December was great, but a lot. And a lot of people were like, is your New Year's resolution to travel more in January? My New Year's resolution in January is to stay in my apartment. So that's kind of one of my main things. But yeah, like being able to like go home more often, continue talking to my Nana and Granda often, those kind of things are like on the top of my priority list. And I just think one of my main things is to like stop taking things so seriously, because I just take everything really, really, really seriously, and it ends up putting me in like a mental spiral, and this is for like most things in my life. So I think they're my main ones. But again, none of them are things that are gonna be like January 1st. So it's gonna be things I'm actively working towards, but I feel like I actively work towards them every year, but just, you know, being mindful and saying them and kind of, you know, what's the word, like almost manifesting them in your life because you're saying it out loud and then, you know, proceeding to do it. But yeah, I really enjoyed just sitting and catching up, and I do want to say Happy New Year's again, and I appreciate if you've watched this far. I'm getting back in the groove of videos right now. I had a really good kind of down period of like really not being on my phone a lot whenever I was back home for Christmas. So like these are only the past few days where I'm starting to like figure out what's going on social media again. I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? And I'm enjoying sitting down and thinking about filming videos again. So now it's gonna be like filming them again. I appreciate you watching. I hope you're all having a great night. I will see you in my next one. Again, Happy New Year's, and let's kick ass this year. I love you, bye. Milo, you can come back now, come up. I'm done filming. You can come up again. Oh, what movie should we watch first? I thought I hit stop record. Bye.